overnight, Broncos move on with Case Keenum.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense for Case to go there. I was very outspoken before free agency started. I said, listen, Case Keenum, not a knock on him, but the reality is, out of the quarterback jobs in the NFL last year, his was the easiest. If you look at the receivers, they had the top rated receiver doing the NFL with Thielen and Diggs, really good tight end, and a solid run game. He's got this play caller in Shermer that's now, because of that success as a head coach, and he had a top 3 defense. So I'm looking at it going, well, his job was the easiest out of the quarterbacks in the NFL as far as starters. So then when you get free agency, you go, if you're Keenum, you're going, well, where can I find a place that can replicate some of those elements? Denver's the one team looking for a quarterback that had that stuff with Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders, similar to Diggs and Thielen. They've got a decent run game. They've got a play caller now in Musgrave who's going to run a very similar scheme to Pat Shermer with the West Coast offense, which suits Case Keenum's game well, and they still have a good defense. So Case Keenum-wise, it's the right decision. Now, flipping it for the Broncos, it's interesting because Gary Kubiak's the guy who brought Case Keenum in from the University of Houston down with the Texans. It makes sense that he would want to go Case Keenum. I look at it like this: it's a better sign for Paxton Lynch that they signed Case Keenum than they went all in on Kirk Cousins. Because if they went all in on Kirk Cousins, that tells you everything you needed to know about Paxton Lynch. Where Case Keenum's a guy who he's 6 or 7 years in now. He's a guy who's always had to do things the right way, right? As a quarterback, he's always had to study the right way, prepare the right way, lead the right way. So he's going to have the opportunity Paxton Lynch will have the opportunity to learn from Case Keenum. So I still think that's a variable. I honestly do. I think they're looking at it going, okay, Case can right this ship for us at the quarterback position for a year or two. We can continue to develop Paxton Lynch. And I still think there's a chance that they take a quarterback with the number 5 pick or early in the second round, especially if Baker Mayfield's there. I honestly believe that is still an option. I think John Elway came out in the offseason and said, I will make this right. I will get this position right. And I don't think he's sitting there going, you know what? Assign Case Keenum, so we've got it. I still think there's more to happen there.